sometimes you over adapt. We're all guilty of that. Like that doesn't work always.
Yeah, you can't be everything to everybody.
We're adapting to everything. That's a poor behavior for us because I've done it. One of my first sales in Marshall Islands. People are like, where's that at?
You don't even know.
In the middle of the ocean.
Let's get a map out. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, which ocean?
I don't even know. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. Pacific. I don't know. It's over by Hawaii. I don't know. Somewhere way out there.
We're going to fact check. We are going to fact check that.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Never in Reverse podcast. Happy New Year. I'm your host, Jeremy Axel, co-host Doug Akot. What's up, Doug?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Buddy, just another day in the neighborhood. How about you?
Same. Do you have a good holiday?
Dude, it was, we went to...
Holidays?
Yeah, I went to the Glenwood Springs, man. Got to go fly fishing. I actually did something, Doug.
I saw those pictures.
I actually did something.
I'm proud of you.
I figured your heart, you probably skipped a beat.
How much do you miss that, though? I mean,
dude, it was good for my soul. My uncle and I got 4 hours and my arm was about ready to fall off. Dude, I was like, I did 10-2. Like,
10-2.
They call me Bill Dance. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. You ever seen River Runs Through It? Remember the
buddy.
movie River Runs? I love that movie.
Yeah, that was
love
great.
that movie.
No, man, but it's good. Got to spend time with the kiddos. You got to see my aunt and uncle. It was beautiful. It was,
went fishing. You sent me those pictures, man. I was a little jealous when I saw that. There's nothing better than having a fish on a fly rod.
Oh,
nothing.
We only caught a few, but
feeling,
it was, dude. Yeah,
I mean,
it's typical for me. I usually feel it every time I go. I know, like, unlike you.
Yeah, right.
Man of 1,000 casts over there, or 10,000. You're like a musky fisherman. I think it's one.
Yeah, exactly. Musky. 10,000.
Minnesota, right?
Oh, yeah,
man.
Exactly.
But welcome back, dude. I'm so glad we're kicking off the new year, man. I think there's a ton of awesome things gonna occur. I know last year for us was a great year, dude. It was a beat down in lots of things.
A lot of learning, a lot of development, a lot of changes, a lot of good changes. I mean, it was all healthy stuff. I mean, looking back on it, I know for me, it doesn't, a lot of learning, a lot of growth, which is good. So
yeah, we did a recap on everything and it was crazy. The list is massive. Yeah, and it took an army, man. It took a whole team and we got to add a lot of great people and actually filled some phenomenal positions on our team that have been, invaluable to where we're heading. So it's been great. And that just, that comes down to some things that we're going to be chatting about today and just like adaptability, right? Like the adaptation. And I think for you, I've seen you grow as a professional and being adaptive. It took, there's times that, I think that we all fight that adaptation. And, once you push through those moments, man, the other side is so much better than you could ever imagine,
Well, it's easy to get comfortable, and
I don't know about here.
No. I mean, you got to be light on your toes. Yeah, 100%. You got to be light on your toes.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So one of you guys, we did some deep investigations with you guys, and you just said that you make it 90 days with me, you're in.
Oh, geez. You ought to see the graveyard of bodies around this organization. No.
No, but someone did say, and you're right, man, that because I just don't allow someone to be mediocre.
No, and I've known you a long time and your personality. You're very challenging, very forward focused, as we've talked about, in other episodes and things. And which I appreciate. And I like being in a culture that is, very forward thinking, that is willing to embrace the change and the challenge, because I've worked for organizations where it's stagnant, it's flat. And when that company culture, when that starts getting into the fabric and the DNA of the company and the culture, I mean, you can't see the smoke through the fog, right? I mean, you can't grow.
And I think that's like the key to business. Like if you genuinely, and actually, I'm pretty excited because you and I feel like we are re-energized because the last 2 episodes, one, I thought I was drunk, and the next one, I thought you were drunk. I'm going, what were we doing, man? We needed to take a break. I'm sorry, the audience. We apologize.
We've been burning the midnight oil around here.
But back to it, man. The key to adaptability in our business and the ability to shift is so powerful. I think it's just a missing element, man. I've been stuck in the weeds just like you have. And I think that the keys to that, what do you feel like from your transitions into here? What do you think the key ingredient? Because you came from something that was 100,000% opposite of us. So you
Oh
had
yeah.
to make a mind shift. If your desires wanted this, but you had no clue what was coming.
But the triggers weren't there, right? Like, where you're keeping, and one thing that really resonates with me is when we went to a customer site here, last spring, and we saw the way that they installed the oilers on that conveyor and how they were, and it was one of the things, it was the takeaway you took from that of where we could be better in that moment for that piece of equipment. But that's a broad scope everywhere in the organization. It's not just, around a product or a service, it's everything. And organizations I've worked for, they wouldn't steer outside the lines of, well, what if we took a right here that was not a shortcut's a bad term probably, but that could lead to greater success. And sometimes people in organizations, I mean, you want to be focused, you want to be streamlined on things that you're good at, right? Because you can't be great at everything. You can be
100%.
an inch deep, mile wide, no traction.
And we've done that. I'm going to be honestly authentic. There's been times where we're so busy. We try to serve everyone at the same magnitude. And what I've tried to teach you from day one is, man,
Can't chase
you are
squirrels.
adapting, and sometimes that adaptive behavior is not serving the greater cause of the customer and or us. And because we can't be everything to everyone, right? Like
No,
we have a
you can't
very,
chase
very
everything.
specific avatar for our client. That'd be a poor adaptability to me. Like we're adapting to everything. Like that's a poor behavior for us because I've done it. I started that way, man. I remember I sold something in the middle of one of my first sales in Marshall Islands. People are like, where's that at? Dude, that's in the
You
middle.
don't even know.
It's in the middle of, it's by, in the middle of the ocean. It's lit, and I had
Let's
no,
get a map out. Let's get a map
I
out.
mean, seriously, but
Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, which
yeah,
ocean?
I don't even know. It's in
You
the
tell
middle.
us.
It's in the
Yeah.
middle. Pacific. I don't know. It's over by Hawaii. I don't know. Somewhere way out there. Um, anyways, I
We're
think
gonna
it is.
fact check. We are gonna fact check
Yeah,
that.
there's an AI tool that'll do that. No, but I just, that ability to be poorly adaptable on the good and bad side. It's not just a single position of like, hey, you didn't
Hmm.
adapt. Sometimes you over adapt,
Hmm.
and I think we're all guilty of that. Like you're a servant heart all the time, and what I've tried to teach you is like that doesn't work always.
Yeah, you can't be everything to everybody, but you got to stay within what your core values are, I believe.
Yeah.
Your core values are your DNA, your fabric. Now, outside of that, if there's opportunity that presents itself that you have to adapt to, or just subtle changes that help enhancement customer experience. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be willing to have, especially in today, it's a very competitive world out there,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's a lot of technology there that's filling voids in organizations where personnel can't always make up for, right? I mean, we're seeing it in AI, we're seeing it in a number of different things, but it's where you bring those supporting elements in that still attach into your core value. We focus on that, I think, as an organization very well. Where organizations I've been a part of, it's like stay in your lane, chain of command, don't steer outside of that, right? We've all worked for it. It depends on the person, I guess, but it's what the healthy environment is.
Yeah,
I
and
like
and I
to be
think
challenged.
about the adaptation. Like I've been in
Mhm.
positions where, the lip service, the highly adaptable mindset with inability to execute. They
Yeah,
they
telling you
they
what you want to
practice
hear.
practice what you preach. They sit there and say it, and then you look
Yep.
back in a year. I mean, I think at the speed that this thing is evolving, I think I look back at our theme in the last 12 months, man, and it's I can't even pencil in. I couldn't even begin to tell you. There's so much.
Well, you and I chatted about this today. We need to put we see a lot of cracks in our process, right?
Yeah.
And we brainstorm these ideas and we talk about these things, and it's everybody in the organization we do, but we have to enact on those things. And like today, we said we need to put pencil to paper. We need to put a perspective, schedule, and a timeline in place to hold ourselves accountable to achieve and fulfill and fill in these gaps and these cracks,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But for us, I mean, we've got some great supporting tools, some great supporting personnel, and
Yeah, and I think
with all
there's
the right intention.
yeah, and I think there's sometimes, I've found that there's times that, in my career where you see rigidity and you missed opportunity to be flexible
Yeah.
and nimble. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that the inability to be agile and flexible in life creates a lot of structured friction because, this world keeps on moving, and
Mm-hmm.
it especially at the rate of advancement now in every facet of life.
Oh,
um,
buddy.
you know, if you're not going to, if you're gonna, what do you think the missed opportunities that we've had? I mean, be honest, what do you think we've missed in the flexibility? Do you think we have?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's dead perfect.
Yeah.
I think there's, the hardest part, I'm finding right now, and not to dive into our business and what's going on, but we recognize this today. The simple things, the impressions of just a thank you letter,
Hmm.
right? Things we need to get back to. That's missed opportunity in my
Oh,
purview.
we've missed a lot lately, and I
But getting back to those sincere, touches
Mhm.
and meaningful touches with our customers, because without them we wouldn't be here,
Yep,
right? And our
100%.
relation and you and I are very customer, focused and relationship focused, because that's who we are. I mean, I don't know how we've stayed friends so dang long, but
Yeah. We going in.
but yeah, yeah, no, we know each other too well, I think. But you see my point. I mean, those are some missed opportunities that we know that we've gotten off the rails a bit,
Yep.
that we need to get back on. We talked about this today, and it's meaningful,
Yeah, and I think I
and
think that, we gotta take these flexible moments, but also roll that into embracing that flexibility and the change throughout,
hmm
and owning that change in a way that doesn't, we don't lose sight of the core,
right.
of why we started here. So I think that we're gonna dive into a quick break, and when we get back, let's go and discover some things maybe around embracing that change, not only in business but in
It's
in our
hard.
in our life, and like trying to figure out where that flexibility and that embracement occurs. So we're gonna take a quick break, you guys, and when we get back, we'll dive back into the topic of embracing change, and we appreciate it. We'll see you guys here in a little bit. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Hey, everybody, welcome back from our short break. Appreciate you. Doug. Yeah, Doug's back.
Oh, Doug was napping.
Nah,
Uh,
no, can't.
no?
We,
Oh,
we can't use
I
that
was
one
waiting.
anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He closed the
New
deal.
year, bud.
He closed the deal. First one this year. Only day two, so we're good. No, Doug, welcome back. Hey, let's dive into that topic, man. Embracing change.
hmm
And I think we're going to relate this a little bit more to that flexibility and that friction and that tension when you're trying to go through a bunch of change. It's tough, man. When you started getting,
Where
you got
at home
yeah, no, just in general, like in
in
life,
general?
you get all
Yeah.
these systems going, and you got a family system, and you get a work system, and then it's like, as this something evolves and shifts, you change. And we're actually seeing a lot of this in a lot of phases. I'm seeing a lot of it in my personal life of like, man, I'm trying to get a lot of structured change in my workout process. To be quite frank,
Routine. Yeah.
my workout process was a keyboard hero. I've been that way for about 9 years. Became a really almost addictive habit, right? Um,
Flex your finger
and
muscles. Let's see them.
dude, man, they're like sausages, bud. But no, like, so the importance in that family dynamic, like embracing change. What's something that is on your focus for 2025, man? What do you want to do to embrace change in your family?
My wife and I got to be better at this. She's always the one that leads the charge in making sure we got things inked on the calendar, because we live busy lives.
Yeah.
I mean, your kids are going to get to the age where they're in sports and activities and friends, and you figure out where your family time is within these calendar months. And my wife is always planning, for instance, I think I told you this, we're going to Palm Springs next weekend, just my wife and I.
You
you
going
know,
where? Sorry.
Palm Springs for a couple
Oh,
days. I was
nice.
telling you this here a
Nice.
couple weeks ago, but just for us to have some time together, she planned it. This year we don't have a spring break trip. She usually has something organized or been saving up for spring break. Um, but I mean, this summer schedule, we've got a lot of great things, but a lot of it is her that she is scheduling these things. And I need to be better at that. I need to take some more initiative in lending a hand in that fashion and in thinking about things for her and for the family too. And not always just letting her carry that torch, but, no, it's, looking forward to a lot of fun activities. Here,
Yeah.
we got spring sports that are going to ratchet up here in probably about, oh gosh, my oldest daughter, she's gonna be on this practice squad for a club soccer team this year. So she's
Yeah, but
gonna start off here
what do
pretty
you
quick, but
let's get back to the topic though. Embracing change.
yeah.
What are you gonna do as a human to change for your family?
Ooh,
How can you do that? You mean you're
um,
talking about everything your wife does, and it's like
yeah, and I guess I kind of lost the topic there, digressed a little bit, but I think being more of a supporting cast to her,
Mhm.
and even if that's just coming in and me thinking of dinner or laying something out to thaw out for dinner,
Yep.
tonight, or, jumping into the kitchen rather than, it's like, oh, she's got it. Rotating the laundry. Oh, she's got it. For me, it's lending more of a supporting hand at home, and
Yeah.
I've got to do a better job of that. Even when I come in exhausted, it's hard,
Oh
you
man.
know, but
You walk in and
I got to
you look
step
at
up.
you look at that sink and you're like, dude, not a chance.
Well, that's a good part about 4 kids. If the chores aren't done,
Yeah,
consequences. Dishes.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think that just comes down to growth. Like one thing that I've
Yeah,
embraced
what's on
man,
your
working out
docket?
and 100% working out, being a lot more patient in my core so that the environment around me does not change me.
Mhm.
So that anything that can come at me and it still leaves me unwavered, and if it
Mhm.
does trigger me, giving myself that silence.
About not sending emails after 7:00 PM.
I've been scheduling those for 8 a.m. So if you get some at 8 a.m., that's probably what you're saying
No, no,
is,
no, 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 no. No, we're an hour difference, bud, and my phone was binging last night with you firing off emails at 7:00 at night.
oh, was it?
I don't know, it's always something.
Oh, dude,
You're
you're
eh,
nap
I'm
you're napping, so there's no way it's banging unless you
Yeah, my wife's like, "Does he ever turn it off? Does he?" I'm like, Lance, I don't know.
did all you gotta
Yeah.
s is it, honey, what I'm getting is from daddy. No, I'm just joking.
Gosh.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just joking, but no, I mean, I think the biggest thing in just taking those changes and, um, not allowing a lot of friction. I think there's a lot of dynamics in families, man, that I've faced in my family that when you're trying to get, like, a positive change where there's a lot of habitual, transgenerational where things have been adaptive over generation to generation,
History repeats
oh, man, it
itself.
just keeps dragging through that, and you really
Mhm.
gotta be and my wife and I've just been really trying to be a lot more patient in the discussions around that for her and I, and not allowing those protective discussions to happen and pushing us to a more holistic, loving relationship.
Like being a better listener? Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Be a better listener, but I'm also wanting to be like, I'm saying like dynamics around relationship things that you were
Mm,
taught in from your parents,
I
or
see. I
and
see.
just getting rid of those poor habits that aren't going to lead you to the greater good of yourself. Growing the
Yeah.
family, right? Like the worst thing that I think the hardest thing is being in an environment where it literally is not pushing you to be the best version of yourself. We're here one time,
Mhm.
man. Like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go spin on this rock the best time and walk light on our feet so that we
Man,
can,
yeah.
well, let's walk light on our feet and know that, I was thinking about this and just where we're heading as people and what I want out of our team, man. I just don't want like an highly productive team. That's important, but I want highly functioning families. I want people that lean into their wives. I want people that show up for their kids.
Yeah.
Imagine
Leave
just,
no box
oh,
unchecked.
yeah, no
Yeah.
box unchecked.
No,
And
and I was proud of you over the holidays. I've been with the company now a little over 2 years, and
Mhm.
really the third holiday season I've spent with the company. And this was the first year I felt like I saw you unplug.
Yeah.
And I saw you give attention to them. And I mean, it was the Monday right before Christmas. And I knew you guys were traveling up to the mountains and you didn't call. And you and I always chat in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? What do we got flowing today? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to call him. I know he's trying to get somewhere. He's probably got traffic. He's spending time. He's got the family in the car. He's probably managing what he can through the moment right now. And then he'll check in with me later. But I was proud that, you know, because you're very motivated, very driven, you know, in a business fashion. But, you know, sometimes, and you and I have talked about this, you know, of what you've maybe given or taken away from your family in those moments. But I was just happy, like you shared those pictures of you fly fishing and the kids and the jammies and the whole bit. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to them. We all do, you know, and we got to take those moments in time, and because we don't get them back.
Man, I was just thinking about that.
We don't get them back.
My wife and I were chatting about that, and just, you know, I think that as this evolution of where I'm trying to lead my family and the things that I'm seeing with friends and people around me, I'm just getting a lot of, I would say, like, open structured dialogue. I think it's just because I'm becoming more of that, and, you know, the flexibility.
Taking some tools in their toolbox that work for you. Yeah.
But just the flexibility and to adapt and to not remain so rigid, you know, and flexibility is such a, you know, for me, it's like sometimes I'm pretty sharp around the edges, right? Like, because I know where we're going, but there's also flexibility within that. So, you know, as we transition to, you know, if you're adapting, and then you got to have flexibility in those moments, because not what I'm starting to learn is we've evolved as people in our team, and, you know, we're making you have big shifts occurring. You and me have had to remain so agile and in the manner of making mistakes. We failed so many times along this road and this path since you joined us, that the flexibility but grit, you know, the topic that we've talked about, just to get through that, man, and just staying nimble, staying true to ourselves, remaining agile enough and okay with the moments that it's not perfect, and flexible in trying to get to the change that we want. You have to remain a chameleon. You have to, you know, embrace that moment, but you also have to be adaptive, and you have to allow things to not be perfect.
Right.
So what do you think we have done in for a big shift? What have you seen from a massive shift for you since joining here, and the flexibility that you've had to endure?
You know, first and foremost, I mean, I think you've challenged me to think and provide critical feedback and criticism in our processes and the way we do things. And, you know, there's times that I've gotten away from that because you get busy, but it's just keeping that mindset of, if there's a better way to tie the shoe, let's talk about it. Let's, you know, and let's find a better way to tie the shoe. Right. You know, and just keeping that mindset in play. If it makes, you know, the challenges that we face day to day in business, ultimately that's going to have a rolling downhill effect, you know, to where when we turn the lights off, turn the computer off, and we go home, that things go smooth through the day. It's going to go smooth when you walk in the door. If there's all this friction and all this tension, guess what you carry with you?
So, Doug, but think about this. I think I'll take a lead on this a little bit, just a topic. I think the biggest dynamic shift we've ever done was at the beginning this year, rolling over accounting.
Oh gosh, yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that
that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, but you know, because it's so easy now, right? And it's not easy, but it's migrating towards simplicity. Yeah. But I think that what happens in those shifts, man, is that the amount of attention that has received from our team, and I'm still doing it, man. I'm still getting I'm in the details.
Well, we're still fine tuning it,
but we're still flexible, and we're still nimble in the shift. Right. Now we're fine tuning. And the fun.
But we got over the big hurdle.
It was
the big challenge. It's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
I mean, we were courageous. It's courageous. Yeah. We just said, I remember January 1st, it said, okay, go. Dude, I was in the conference.
Yeah, you said right to the deep end of the pool, and I'm going, huh?
And I'm
like,
so, but I've heard these things that are going on in other people's organizations, and they're, you know, that they're failing. They're just sitting in it. They're expecting. We're in it with these. We're in it as a team. We're in it. And guess what's happening? It's just it's pinpoint accuracy. We had to be personally flexible for the change. And it is hard to change, but I think we've now created the structure when people make it hard to change, or they try to start putting these thresholds or these boundaries up that are processes that probably aren't long-term, and they try to protect it. I'm out. I'm like, dude, we're not doing it. We're not.
No, and see, we're not good at kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
Let's fix it. We're not. I mean, it's if, we're telling the development team, make this change, or something simple on a purchase order, that you and I caught today. Oh, change it now in the moment, and you're firing it off, but it's why wait? No better time than the present, right?
Yeah, because we're projecting, 2 months from now. Well, 2 months from now is going to be totally different from where we're currently at.
Right.
So why not be flexible and open?
Live in the moment.
Yeah, but there's also times
flexible in the moment.
I feel like I've been. Sometimes I have to push our team towards that change and thinking outside of themselves, because I like to evolve. I like that.
Yeah.
I like stepping over the boundary of what's current and what's, some people don't envision that, but I enjoy those moments of challenging ourselves, embracing the change, doing it as a unit, and then looking on the other side. But the problem is what we've learned, and here, I'll let you attest this. What have you found with when we do that? What happens every time we hit that neck? We climb that first mountain, what happens?
Oh, it's just the weight of that comes off your shoulders.
But what's on the other side? Typically, it's not downhill.
It's ease.
No,
it's ease.
But no, I'm looking for something else. I think what happens is we set the goal higher.
Well, yeah. Ultimately, our benchmarks.
Yep.
Of where we think we can go and what we can do. Yeah, our benchmarks grow. But knowing that we've overcome these challenges and these hurdles and being adaptive, to solve those problems in the moment, we see the greater good or the greater possibility beyond of just the current state of where we sit.
Yeah. And it's a mindset, man. I think the shift for what I've experienced and seeing, like, there's not many, it takes a very, very open-minded person to step into this environment because of that. I mean, we saw
but
that.
You've challenged us to be pioneers in this organization, right? Explorers.
Yep.
Let's put it, right? We're kind of charting some uncharted territory. Now, if there's a shortcut or a better way to get there, canoe, raft, horseback, whatever, let's do it.
And if it doesn't,
you always say, don't tell me about it.
Yep.
Tell the team. Let's do it. Let's go. But you challenge us all cohesively to think in that fashion for the better good of all of us. If you notice something or that is going to have a greater impact or a benefit, get it out there. Let's not sit on it.
This happened to you though, because you're so busy, and I'm like, dude, so you're going to do it again? We're going to do this again?
Yeah. You're like, take care of it now. And I went, yeah, you're right. Gosh dang it. Because you just... Sometimes you get your blinders on, right? And it's not always good to have blinders on. You still, even in the moment, and there's that problem that you're facing, or you see, a gap or a crack in our process, address it now, and I've got to get back to being better at that, at times. I mean, because you challenge us, to really be forward thinking in that fashion.
Man, the gaps, because what happens is these gaps, they start small. You grow, it grows. You double it. Typically the crack is exponential, right? Like, even if your growth might be double, and it might not be an exponential curve, but the crack becomes the biggest. It's the biggest issue for the next side, and that might be buying time back. That might be revenue goals. There's all sorts of things that occur with that gap. That gap is typically
creates it.
Yep. Yeah. Or what people typically do is fill the gap in with a person. Let me put a Band-Aid on that.
Yeah.
Let me I mean, let me hit it. So I think though, just to summarize today, I think that the awesome thing for us is the agility and the adaptability, and put, our users, just go challenge yourself. Go challenge yourself in the weakest areas of your life, and let's figure out, go try to be
fill in the gaps.
Flexible. Try to push yourself in your boundaries and understand that you can. If you're trying, I don't think you're ever failing. I really don't. I think that every time
you can't fail if you don't try.
Yeah, you're not going to fail if you're trying. You know, because you're still moving forward, right? Like,
right.
We're not just we're not going backwards while the world's moving forward. So, just go challenge yourself and
never in reverse.
Yeah, never in reverse. Yeah, but I mean, it's beautiful, right? Like that. I'm going to be honest, man. When we can hit that name on the head, I'm like, yes, we got it.
That's us.
That was us. Let's take this moment and go. Let's go make 2025 the best year we've ever had.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man, we're excited. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And we appreciate you guys joining us on this episode of Never in Reverse. Hope you guys have an awesome 2025. Go make this the best year in your personal life, business, friendship.
Yep.
Take the world by the horns and go make some greatness happen. We appreciate you guys.
Does the world have horns or does the bull have horns?
What I mean, my world, it's got all kinds of stuff.
Anyway, bull by the horns, folks.
Take care, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.